The Innovators is brought to you by the Jamaica Yellow Pages, Heart Trust NTA, the Jamaica Observer, First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union, and Future Services International. Meet the Innovators, Yannick Page and Gary Matalin. Over the next several weeks, they'll be helping aspiring and struggling entrepreneurs to make more money. Yannick Page launched her first business at age 17 and knows how to start a business on a shoestring budget. She's a certified trainer in entrepreneurship and workforce innovation and is also the founder of the award-winning company, Future Services International. Gary Matalin is the co-founder and director of New Stone Limited. This successful entrepreneur is also the co-founder of KLE Group, owners and operators of Fiction Lounge and Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records. This week, they will be joined by guest innovator Zuar Jarrett, director and design principal at the leading architectural firm Zuar Limited, and director of the KLE Group.
Gary, Ard, we have a very interesting guy today. He's creative, he's dynamic. The problem is, I don't even know what he is doing. I don't know how to describe it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, his name is Edward, so let's take a look.
Okay.
I actually grew up in St. Mary, so I would say I'm a country boy. I grew up in a typical middle-income family. Mom is a teacher, dad is a pastor, so they were very strict. And from ever since, my parents were very, very serious about education. So we had to learn to read very early. So that basically unlocked the world to me. I was very interested about architecture from a very young age. I even have a drawing that I did from I was 6 years old. I still have it. I didn't have paper at that time, so I used the old flower bags and I cut that up and did some drawings and that. And I've always been interested in creating, making things. E3 Designs and Construction offers photorealistic 3D rendering, which is basically the production of 3D images from building plans that persons normally offer. It was very difficult to start my own business. I left community college at 17 years old, and initially I tried to get a job. I sent out more than 138 applications and did not get one response. Basically, I was discouraged, I was bewildered as to what to do. I couldn't figure it out. A friend of mine though said to me, "Why don't you start your own business?" I didn't know what to do, but by chance, I went to a seminar that the Jamaica Business Development Corporation was hosting, and they were teaching persons how to start their own business. And that's where it started.
I've known Edward to be one who, once he is determined to achieve anything, he'll definitely go for it.
I'm 24 years old, and when persons are building a house that should last a lifetime, a house that will last 50, 100 years, they normally don't entrust a 24-year-old to do that. I have never been good at math. Accounting is something to do with mathematics. So when it comes to record keeping and accounting, I have difficulties with that. Because of that, some of the times contracts end up not being so clear, not being so precise. That's one of the major challenges for my business and what's hampering growth.
Well, Ard, it's the industry that you and I have a little experience with, eh? But Yannick, I'm a bit confused as to exactly what it is he's doing. But I will bring him in and see if we can learn a bit more about the business.
I don't understand why I'm not making more money, and that's the main reason I want to meet the innovators. I want to make more money, and I want to make my business more profitable.
How are you doing, Edward?
I am good, thanks. How are you doing?
Great, not bad.
All right, so Edward, let me tell you, it's clear that you're talented. I just don't know what you're talented at doing. As in, it's not specific enough to me. How do you describe yourself? What are you?
That's one of the challenges that I've been having, and that's why I've come to the Innovators, hoping that maybe you could help me to define properly what it is exactly I do. If I tell persons I'm an architect, that's not accurate because architects do a particular thing and they're registered as architects. But I do the job somewhat of an architect. I also do construction. and I also do 3D design for buildings. So it's difficult to have a technical term for exactly what I do, but I know what the business does, which is architecture, photorealistic 3D rendering, and building construction.
What do you love to do? I mean, we heard from your past that you like to draw, and now you're an adult and you're in the field, and you've been faced with some of the challenges and the perceptions. Where's your passion?
I love to create, I love to design. I still love to design, but I also like to be hands-on. I like to be in the field doing building construction, seeing buildings go up from foundation.
But Edward, I mean, help me out here because I'm still very confused. So I want to build a house. Who do I call? I call a project manager, I call a quantity surveyor, I call an architect. Where in the mix do I call you? What do I do with you?
You call me once you decide you want to build a house. I, in turn, would be able to source your quantity surveyor, your project manager, and construction personnel to get you the house. I'd also do your design. I'd also do your building plan. I'd also do your renderings and your 3D projections to show you what it will look like when it's complete. So I will give you the full package.
And you have this infrastructure in place? Because I mean, obviously, to be able to create a full set of construction documentation on the design side, you would engage an architect who has resources available to be able to create that. That's a pretty significant scope in and of itself. To then also be saying, all right, I'm also going to do the coordination and project management side of it. To then also say I'm going to do the construction of it. You're crossing a lot of different areas of expertise there.
I've seen quite a few of his work and so on, and I believe it is remarkable of him, and it speaks to his level of creativity and his innovation as an individual.
If you come to me, or you come to anybody who wants to build a house, and you say, you know, I'm a design build company, right? And I'm also 24. Yeah. And I also have very little experience. You start to convince me that you can't do what you say you can, right? Because as Gary said, there's a whole heap of different professional responsibility along the chain.
Coming up on The Innovators.
He's not good on the back office type stuff, the administrative type stuff. He's identified that as a weakness. Don't go there. I cannot stress to you enough the importance of keeping proper accounting and bookkeeping records. This is an area of the business that some people may not feel comfortable with. They tend to shy away from it. You can't afford to do that. It's impossible for you to make proper business decisions without knowing what's going on inside of your business. And the only way to do that is to have proper financial records. Too many times people come on the show, they can't tell us enough about their business because they don't know. You have to know. Get it together, get your accounting and bookkeeping together, and make sure it's done right.
The highest point of my business has been the Prime Minister's Youth Award for Excellence. That was recognition for hard work that I've done over the past few years.
I like that you can promise to offer a one-stop shop. No, I'm sorry. I know that these guys are both from construction, but I'm just thinking as an average consumer here. I think one of the biggest challenges for people who want to build, who want to put up a little thing on this rock that we love, Jamaica, is that you just don't know where to turn. And sometimes for many people, an architect is way out of your reach. When you really want to build a house, the first person you go to is not usually an architect in Jamaica, you know. It's usually a person who is in construction and a contractor, right? And you say, look here, I want to build this. And then you have to pray that they can interpret what you have designed. Because for many people, the proper way of doing it is out of their reach.
His business idea, I believe, is one that is good. And why I admire it also is because at a time we need more young people to create their own businesses that can grow our economy and not necessarily to depend on trying to gain an employment.
It's a great concept, and I definitely agree with you, Yannick. I think there's a huge market for it.
Huge.
What I'm concerned about is that I think you need to get to that point. I don't think you can start at that point.
Yeah.
So what I would rather do is is drill down into your specific skill sets. What is it that Edward has expertise in? What is it that we can focus on? Because construction is the type of thing that reputation is key.
Yeah, and the other thing is that it's risky for you as well. It's not just for your potential customers, because there are a lot of construction issues that end up in court simply because people are upset with, and these are established companies, you know. So I think Gary's point is very, very valid, but I think we have enough to formulate a plan, because we know that what you need from us is some direction. You need to properly define exactly what you're doing, who you're going to target, and how it is that you're going to move to a point where you're making more money, and we're going to help you do that. So give us a little while, we're going to have a discussion, and then we'll invite you back in.
In 5 years, I hope to be the premier architectural design and building solution in Jamaica.
To go that route that he's trying to go, he said it himself. Administratively, that's not where his strength is. He's not good on the back office type stuff, the administrative type stuff. He's identified that as a weakness. Don't go there. You need to go somewhere where you have your strengths. If his strengths are in the technical side, the 3D modeling side, there's a huge industry, a huge section.
Well, you know, Gary, I think that he can actually achieve by doing a combination of what you're saying. I think what he could do is stitch together 4 experienced people, bring them under his umbrella, put it forward as his team when he sells his workshop, and then focus on what you're saying he's good at. You understand?
He has to get into, he really has to create a network, and he has to get in front of the people who are looking to build, which means he has to create some strong partnerships, which means you're creating partnerships with the National Housing Trust, with different developers, because remember, you know, you're not just talking about people who are building from scratch. There are people who are always renovating, always changing how a property looks. There are people who have bought the smaller properties, the first time home buyer, and then they're looking to expand.
Edward, good to see you again, man.
But we really want for you to get some training. We think you need to focus a little bit more on design, since that's what you're offering and you're doing all the 3D stuff, but you need some formal training there. And also some business training. You said you didn't like accounting, but you have to start loving it, because you have to be on top of your money. You're talking about making money. If you're not watching what's going out and what's coming in, you can make a lot of money or you can make some huge losses. Chances are people who don't watch their money tend to lose a lot of it. So we want to really fix that for you. So I think when you come back here, we're expecting big things.
It's now time for the assignments.
Them have a money problem. Laugh, we a laugh and a solve them. Sick bad. You know it's marital.
Hi, Edward. What's going on?
I'm good, good.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Alright, my name is Gregory Pierce from Pierce Wright & Company. I understand that you're having some problems with accounting. Tell me what's going on.
Well, definitely, I have a lot of problems. Math was never my favorite subject, and because of that, I have difficulty with accounting. Another issue is that because I'm the head cook and bottle washer of the business, I do everything. Most of my time is spent doing actual work for the business, so accounting tends to get left for last. Aside from that, record keeping is rather difficult because of the time constraints. Also, my business, because most of my clients are middle income professionals, sometimes low income, they pay me in cash. And a lot of times, by the time the cash that they give me gets to the bank, I've spent some of it already. So it's difficult to keep track of the cash that I get.
Okay, so the problem that you have is a very common problem. Especially with startup businesses and those for young people, those people who have never actually had a business before. There are certain things that you're going to have to do to make this thing work. The first thing I'm going to recommend to you that you open a checking account. It's going to be very important. If you have a checking account, you are able to track the expenditure that you have from your company. What you may find now is that you're commingling your payments. So you'd have some of your personal payments mixed up with some payments for your business. And this is going to make it difficult for the accountant to determine exactly what you're spending on. That's one. Two, it's going to make it difficult for you to remember what these payments were for a year later when you're actually doing your accounts. So if you have a checking account, what that does is it creates an environment where when you draw a check, you can make a note about exactly what you're spending on, and that note helps you to keep better records. The second and very important thing that you need to do is keep your receipts and your invoices. Also, you're going to have to do things like keep your bank statements together. Okay? A big problem that accountants have is that a lot of the information that we need to construct your accounts gets lost throughout the year. So the bank sends you your bank statements and it sends you the checks. But what happens is that you lose them
and it's very difficult for you to get them back. And if you don't have that type of information, we're not able to properly give you the accounts that you're going to need.
I now have a greater appreciation for accounting and the work that accountants do, and I'll definitely be moving forward as a more improved individual thanks to the Innovators.
Coming up on The Innovators.
Are you making more money?
My name is Dorothy Eubanks, Managing Director of Dean Accept Sandals and Accessories. We are a sandals manufacturer. We've started doing sandals, but we're going to also be doing handbags, belts, and dog collars. I've been involved in the manufacture of sandals for about 2 years now. We've been really focusing the first year and a half on product development, looking at new ways to make a better product before we really came out to the public in full force.
Dorette met with the Innovators to help grow Sandel's brand. Here's an update on her progress.
We have created some new designs in the sandals line. We have a bridal collection. We've also created some other sandals that is a request from the more mature female who don't like the between-toe sandals. It's one of our most popular designs. We have one that we make from snakeskin, different variety of snakeskin that is very popular. We also have a new design just called Just Me, which is celebrating my 60th birthday. We do have a male line. It's very popular. We have really grown a lot from the show. Not only from the show, but from the advice of the show. A lot of the advice they gave us, one of them was to trademark our brand, which we have done. As far as the public's concerned, they totally love the next step, and that motivates me a lot, and really know that I've done something positive to somebody who's really probably think that they couldn't do something, but are now trying.
Have a seat, Edward.
Thank you.
Project management is actually a systematic approach to getting your work done. It's actually the art and the science, some persons say, of managing your resources towards achieving your goal. The trick with managing projects is to ensure that you manage your constraints. And what are your constraints? Let me give you a little diagram on that. Let's say you have a triangle or even a scale. At the top, you have your scope maybe, you have quality, you have time, you have cost, and you have customer service, etc. The trick with project management, you're a juggler. How do I manage my scope to ensure that it's in line with my time, to ensure that it's in line with cost, to ensure that it's in line with quality? So the tip with managing your project is to understand what time frame you're working in, what is the scope, what is the quality, even what is the risk. Something I didn't write on this, but there are other constraints that you should be managing, and that's one of the key to managing project management. Some persons think that project management is only for construction and IT. Project management can help you even manage your life. It's applicable.
I'm so happy that I was given the opportunity by the Innovators to come and speak with Mrs. Loban from the Project Management Global Institute. I know that my business will grow as a result of the knowledge that I've acquired and the motivation from Mrs. Loban and the Innovators. Hi, I'm Edward. I'm looking for Mr. Francis.
Oh, I'm Mr. Francis. Hello. We have been expecting you. Welcome to Heart Trust NTA VTDI.
Some of my challenges have been, I graduated from community college at 17 years old. I did a diploma, City and Guilds, in construction, but I was not exposed initially to AutoCAD. So I've been doing the traditional drawing for a few years, and then I taught myself how to use AutoCAD and other 3D design technology. So now I am not formally certified in AutoCAD or any other computer-aided design.
Okay, well, I may say that you're in the right place today, because here at the VTDI we offer trainings in AutoCAD as a part of the training program in construction and also for the drafting and building technology program. We also offer short courses in AutoCAD application as well. So you could access that training and be Heart Trust certified. Today I'll be introducing you to Mr. Mills, a lecturer here at the VTDI in the construction department, and he actually teaches AutoCAD. So let me introduce you to him.
Wow, this is great. Did a student actually do this?
Yes.
I would love to get certified and learn how to master these programs, and I'd love to do this at the VTDI.
It's now time for Edward to update the innovators on his progress.
Edward Dapper Case, good to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back, Edward.
Thanks.
Right, so what's been happening?
The assignments were amazing. I learned an awesome amount from the individuals who I was sent to. The strategic alliances that Gary told me to build, I have found forward-thinking persons, Gary, who definitely would want to partner with my business. I've taken the advice not to bite off more than I can chew, not to do too much at once, but to take things stage by stage.
Are you making more money?
Yes, I am making more money. Do I look like I'm making more money?
Well done, Edward. Well done, well done.
Thank you.
Edward is going to do really well. He just needs to keep going down that road, and as he develops more of a portfolio, he can then start to expand his business into other areas and get the benefits from that additional business.
Edward is going to take off like this. But for all of us, the bigger lesson with Edward's case is this. Edward has taught himself how to use technology online. And I think so many of us spend time idling on Facebook, on Twitter. You can actually use those skills that you've learned to teach yourself a skill, right? And that's something that everybody needs to take away from this. You can make money, you can empower yourself, you can become more knowledgeable and skillful using the technology that's available to you.
In Jamaica, as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of opportunities, and he went after all of them. The boss thing and the total ownership thing and the big umbrella thing is a time of the past. And I think that Edward, in these strategic changes in his business, can appreciate that more.
The Innovators has been an exceptional experience for me. As an individual, I know that this isn't where it ends. The sky isn't the limit. I'm my limit.
The boardroom table and chairs were provided by the Stationery and Office Supplies Limited. For people who mean business, Gary's wardrobe was provided by Max Brown Limited. Next time on The Innovators.
I was born this way, you know. It was like accidentally I got shot, you know, while I was lying on my bed and woke up with a bullet, you know, lodged in my side. Most disabled persons, we might not have the feet, but we still have the brain and our hands.
For further information on any of our assignments, please visit us at facebook.com/innovatorstv or email us at innovatorstv@gmail.com. The Innovators was brought to you by the Jamaica Yellow Pages, Heart Trust NTA, the Jamaica Observer, First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union, and Future Services International.